I showed up at my daughter's elementary school 10 minutes early to pick her up, but after 20 minutes of waiting, she still hadn't come out. I figured something was up, so I walked inside to look for her. Instead of finding her in class, her teacher, Mrs. Vivian, intercepted me in the hallway. She wore that specific, tense expression that immediately makes a parent's stomach drop. "There was an incident today," she said, shaking her head. I sighed, ready to hear what rule my 7-year-old daughter Paige had accidentally broken. "Paige hurt another student badly," Mrs. Vivian continued grimly. "The Henderson boy has a head injury." Here we go, I thought. This John Henderson kid was infamous throughout the school for biting. I knew exactly who he was because Paige had come home 3 separate times this semester with angry, dark purple bite marks on her arms. It made my blood boil every single time. The school's administration had always brushed it off with the exact same tired excuse. "We're handling it, boys will be boys. John has behavioral challenges." Now, my daughter, who routinely collected injured butterflies and cried when she accidentally stepped on ants, had somehow hurt this kid bad enough to make him cry. Mrs. Vivian led me down toward the office. "I'm really shocked by Paige's behavior," she muttered. "Violence is never the answer. John's parents are already here, and they're considering pressing charges." They mentioned something about a lawsuit. My hands were shaking as we walked. Paige had never had a violent bone in her body. She once apologized to a tree after accidentally breaking off a branch. When we reached the office, I saw her through the glass door. She was sitting in a chair far too big for her small frame. Her school uniform was disheveled. Her usually neat braids were coming undone, and there was actual dried blood on her white sleeve. She looked up when I entered. Instead of tears or guilt, her brown eyes held something entirely unexpected. She looked almost proud of herself. "Tell your father what happened," Mrs. Vivian told her. But before Paige could even open her mouth, the office door burst open and John's parents stormed in. Mr. Henderson's face was purple with rage, while his wife clutched their son, who was holding an ice pack to his head. "This is the violent little brat who attacked my son," Mr. Henderson shouted, pointing a finger directly at Paige. "She slammed him into a wall. He could have a concussion. We should be talking to the police right now." Before I could respond, Paige calmly stood up. Without a word, she rolled up her sleeve to reveal fresh, angry bite marks. The teeth had literally broken the skin, and blood was still seeping through the makeshift bandage Mrs. Vivian had wrapped around her arm. "He bit me first," Paige said quietly, "but that's not why I pushed him." Mrs. Vivian stepped in quickly, trying to mediate. John had cornered another little girl in kindergarten behind the playground equipment. She was scared because she'd accidentally bumped into him. He got angry and cornered her against the fence. She was crying. Paige chimed in to explain. She said John was going to bite her badly. The other girl, Rosie, is only 5 and wears leg braces, so she couldn't run away from him. The room went completely silent. The Hendersons looked caught off guard. Paige stepped right between them, Mrs. Vivian continued. John bit her arm when she wouldn't move, but Paige didn't even flinch. She just stood there protecting Rosie. Then John tried to go around her to get to Rosie, and that's when Paige shoved him into the wall. I looked at the Hendersons, then at Mrs. Vivian, and finally down at my daughter's bloody sleeve. A cold, fierce protectiveness surged through me. "Show me where John is injured," I demanded, looking at his parents. Mrs. Henderson looked surprised, but pointed at the ice pack. I walked over, gently moved the ice pack aside, and looked. There was a tiny bump on his head, barely even visible. "Now, look at my daughter's arm," I said, my voice dropping into an authoritative edge I didn't even recognize. "That is so much worse. You know, I'm a lawyer, and what your son did is actually felony assault on a minor. I could have both of you questioned." Mrs. Henderson instantly turned pale and started stammering. "He didn't mean to hurt anyone. John has an issue. We're working on it."